Well, I always do it anyway. I don't know why I wouldn't start. Hello, everyone. Today is February 5th, 2018. It is my day 1.269. And I have a little friend in my lap today. It's my little daughter who's very supportive of my life. um, I woke up this morning and I had a talk with my daughter, and I expressed to her that I am having some issues, which if you watch the last video, you can tell, yeah, Karen, you're having some issues, okay? Let me see if I can get a little more comfortable here. Oh, there we go. And, nutcracker. Anyway, so, what was I saying? Oh, and so, I woke up this morning and I told my daughter, I said, I'm worried. I am concerned because for whatever reason, I am feeling the pull to communicate in this fashion. Okay? And I told her that I felt guilty. And maybe that's pretty close to the matter there. I feel guilty because to a certain degree, much like I have changed my appearance to match myself, and some 7 weeks and a day hence I will be surgically altering myself. I feel like my personality has been somewhat kept in a bottle, held back. And maybe I feel like it's because I needed to maintain a connection with my daughter as her father. I mean, if I can hope to grow. Oh, so sorry, baby. Hit you in the chin. I am so sorry. To be my authentic self, for lack of a better word, I just feel so much at ease in this mode of communication. Okay? And much like I think, and I haven't really thought this through, and you can say, Karen, you're nuts. And I'll say, yes, macadamia. Okay? But I have to go with what feels right. And my concern for this whole process has been being my authentic self. Oh, and that's the phone. So I'm going to pause the video and see who this is. All right, sorry for the glitch. I guess I should be thankful for the call because it was a chance to talk to someone, a cold call. Where was I? Anyway, so as part of the transition, again, being my authentic self, this is a step in that direction. And I wouldn't say that I felt like I needed my daughter's permission, because if she had said no, I would have done it anyway. But I wanted to explain to her some of my feelings, and it's very, very different. I mean, I can't, probably, I feel like if my dad was here, who's not a very big supporter of me, if someone that had known me, had to go from one to the other, one voice to the other, it must be very, very difficult to comprehend, okay? But in the same way that, and I don't have a good, well, these are all younger ones. Hang on. I don't know. You don't want to see me as a little boy. But to go from being a handsome young man, although I didn't feel handsome at the time, and I didn't certainly feel like a young man, but to go from what you're used to, I wish I had a picture of me with a beard, because that's probably more appropriate than this. But to go from how I was 2 years ago, before I started hormones and as I was trying to get everything ironed out, if you compared that to the way I am today, you would say, oh, it's such a transition. It's such a change. You're not being your authentic self, or you're being fake, and you might be right. And so again, I guess I'm leaning more towards looking at this in this way. If I needed to transition and change my body, and again, what I'm going to do in 7 weeks, then there is going to be a little bit of a disconnect as I move into this space, as I move into this voice, as I communicate. And this is where, again, look at all the learning we had to do with makeup and everything. I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect, okay, but I am myself. I have my own sense of style. And again, I need to have a learner's permit, damn it, for lack of a better word. I need to screw up and have the license to screw up with my voice. And the more that I practice and the more that I use it and I listen back to my voice, the more feedback I will have. But also, the more I will get into this space and into this this point on my throat, in my voice box, and everything, I tell you what, you keep a moist voice, and you're in good shape. But your voice box is a muscle, right? And so again, you have to train it. If you were lifting weights, you'd be a sorry son of a bitch if you picked up 500 pounds like circus, and so in the same way, we have to, well, let me close this. This is evil. Salt substitute, potassium. You have to start small and then build up to what you feel comfortable with. So again, it's going to take time. So again, I would expect some voice popping. I would expect some voice dropping. I would expect some words that don't sound right, because I'm learning and I need to give myself that time. Boy, I'm coming a long way in this 8 minutes here. But anyway, I did want to record it. And again, I don't know if this is going to hold true, but this is my transition. And by golly, this is my transition blog. And if I didn't tell everything that was going on, I'd be lying to myself and you. I'd make liars out of us both, although Bobby, one of the women in Trans Women National, said we're the best liars in the world, to ourselves. So let's move on a little bit, if you'll pardon the slight disconnect, fourth wall breaking, I guess, I don't know. But I want to talk a little bit about my second injection that I had this morning. And I did good. It took me about 30 minutes to build up the courage. It also took me a good 20 minutes of that to get the syrup out of the little bottle. My heavens. I'm going to try a different gauge needle next time in 2 weeks. And I know that I probably should throw this away right friggin' now, but I'm going to keep it, even though it's technically had its use. And the reason being is there's no guarantee that I will be able to get this soon. And I would, for myself, I'm going to inject myself with what's left in the bottle, which again I don't recommend that for everybody. This is for me, my body, my choice. But hopefully I won't die from it. But We'll see. We'll see. We're knock on plastic. I think it'll work out. But the second shot was definitely a lot better. And I was in control of the needle, and I think that's what made the difference. I was in control of how fast it went. I was in control. Now, I will say it was very hard to pull the plunger once it was inside. I think that's just because of the vacuum that was created. And boy, I had to really fight it. So next time I might try a little different gauge. I've got 2 gauges, and we'll go from there. All right, my friends, I do not want to run the risk of running out of time. Today also starts my this week I have 2 electrolysis sessions to make up for last week. So I need to kind of start to think about getting on the road. It's snowing and everything. But I did just want to say thank you for putting up with me. And if you're going through this process, you know how I feel, okay? And that's something that someone had said the other day. It might have been Jackie. Had said, you know, and Tess said it at a meeting a long time ago. She said, when I walk into this room, I know all of you feel the way that I feel. I don't have to explain necessarily. I can share with you, but you know how I feel. And I think that's pretty neat. So, and I will say also too, again, as a parent, and this is probably another video and probably a series of videos and maybe even a psychotherapy session. But, you know, definitely, if this is the way of the future, okay, the label father is becoming less and less. And, you know, even this morning, as I got my daughter in the car, and once I made up my mind, I decided I'm going to run with this. And, you know, again, to feel good about yourself, to let your authentic self come through, you know, I'm definitely more of a mommy than a father. But I'm still both. I mean, I will fill out my duty and happily. But again, it's one of those things. Can you imagine? I mean, my hope is, knock on wood, knock on plastic, that I meet somebody, male or female. But if this is the way it's going to be, then, you know, they're going to know about my past, obviously. But, you know, I don't know. I think that's where it puts a little bit of stress and pressure. You know, what will my daughter do? I don't know. Maybe I feel like this is somewhat, ooh, pardon me. It's where my muscle is losing its strength here. You know, at some point, you know, and much like my video from yesterday, I do feel like, for myself, you know, in some 7 weeks hence, you know, the last vestige of my previous existence is being eradicated and recycled, repurposed, reused. And so again, it's almost like to have that any sort of male reference to you, it just seems so inappropriate. And I don't mean that in a negative, like, you know, that's inappropriate, you can't say that to me. It's just like, you know, having an apple and saying it's a banana. This is a banana. Well, it looks like an apple, tastes like an apple, but it's a banana, you know. And so again, the more you know what I mean? I feel more like a mommy. I'm one of Katie's mommies. That make any sense? So we'll see. Till next time, good luck to you, and thank you for your patience, and I wish you good luck on your journey, my friends. Bye-bye.